Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've got 3 o'clock on the dot here on the East Coast. This is Cece with Cleaning Business Builders, and today we've got Derek, Christian, and Liz Trotter talking about some free and almost free money to help you grow your business, where to find that free money. As we get started in just a second, I'm going to give you a couple of housekeeping notes. You can use your menu. If you see an orange arrow in the top right of your screen, you can use that menu to navigate to the questions section, and that's where you can post questions to me so that I know what you need to have answered from Derek or Liz when they get to their respective parts. And I will certainly facilitate that. I'll also let you know you're going to see a lot of links in a lot of the slides, a lot of hyperlinks. I have already turned that into a handout. So right below the question section, you'll see a handout section. And there are 2 PDF documents already there ready for you to download right now if you want to, that have a collection of the links and resources and some of the tips that Derek's going to go over towards the end of the presentation. So you've already got that material ready to download and at your fingertips. I think that's all my housekeeping notes, Derek. Did I miss anything? We've got you all muted. Yeah, we've got you all muted. So use the question section. But I think I'm going to turn it over to Derek now.
Great. Well, thank you, STC. This is Derek Christian, and we're going to get a little bit in our background for those of you who don't know us. I am with My Maid Service in Cincinnati, Ohio, also Dayton, Ohio. We have been in a lot of trade publications in the past, including Better Homes and Gardens, CNN Money, etc. I am co-owner of Cleaning Business Today, the trade publication for residential cleaning with Tom Stewart. Obviously, Liz and myself also do consulting with Tom as part of Cleaning Business Builders. Not everyone knows this, but I do have a separate division called ACS Commercial Cleaning, which does commercial and carpet cleaning. So I have a little bit of experience on that side. I am currently at a Walt Disney resort, so I am going to be dropping off after I get done with my part of the call today, but I love you guys so much that I figured I had to come on here and share my stuff and get off as quickly as possible so that I don't get in too much trouble with my mother and 3-year-old child. So Liz is going to be taking over on the second half, and Liz is the owner of American Made Cleaning, which is out of Olympia, Washington. She is basically our expert with anything employee issue, although she's also fantastic with customers, motivation, culture, etc. She created our High Pet program, which is our high performance employee program. Some of you have heard about Made Money or the core value cards. She created those. And she writes for us all the time in Cleaning Business Today. Used to be on the IICRC board with me. We served actually almost, in fact, I think to the day the exact same term. We joined at the same time and left at the same time, so I've known Liz for a while, and you'll get to talk with her at the end. So the topic we wanted to talk about today was, like Cece said, believe it or not, it is not a scam. There is such a thing as some free money that's out there to help your business. It comes in the form of Department of Labor training programs, some work opportunity tax credits, and then there's some things through trade associations that we're going to talk about. And we're going to go through some examples of people you know, one of which actually being me. So I'm going to jump right in and just start with it. I don't know if you all know this, but the government attempted to simplify things and make it so almost everything as it relates to job creation and getting a job has been moved to what they call one-stop centers. And so each state sets up these one-stop centers, and the link at the bottom is going to pop up for that and help you find your local one-stop centers. Sometimes these are run by the state. Sometimes these are independently operated. What's really interesting about these is the federal government actually not deregulated, but decentralized this a lot. And so each individual office has a lot of flexibility. But in general, they help you with training programs, hiring assistance, benefits for employees, and will help you with your work opportunity tax credits, which we're going to get into in a second. So like I said, basically what happened is the program that most of us are pulling off of is actually called the Employment and Training Administration Fund. Now, once again, that gets sent down to the state that may rename it or redo something else, but they allow each individual office a lot of flexibility how they manage this. Unfortunately, that means other than telling you who to go talk to, I can't tell you exactly what luck you're going to have or not going to have, because I might be approved for something in Cincinnati, Ohio, that Kyle Walker might not be approved for up in Columbus, Ohio, because different centers have different people in charge with different attitudes. So like I said, your results are going to vary a lot here. It's going to depend on the opportunities in your area, and to be honest, some of the opinion of the people running the office. Some people think that the cleaning industry is a dead-end job and are offended at the mere idea that we would want to waste government funding on growing the cleaning industry. Who cares about that? It's a terrible industry. It's a dead-end job. It doesn't go anywhere. Other people I've dealt with at one-stop centers have said, oh, this is great. You know, a lot of our people need basic job skills. You know, I'm not expecting them to work for you forever, but if you can hire people that have been unemployed for a long period of time, help them gain some basic job skills, they can move on to bigger and better things over time. You're not going to get somebody off of unemployment and then instantly get them a $40,000 a year job. You have to start somewhere. So the results are going to vary a little bit, but I'm going to give you some specific results of what happened for me. In my market, the program is managed by the OhioWorkforce.com website. You go there. And they did lots of things for me. One of my favorite things is they actually created a benefit package for me. These one-stop centers are designed to help employees get jobs, so they're very familiar with all of the job support programs out there. So I actually originally got the idea when I went to go visit Tom Stewart. He's got a resource wall in his office where he's got information on daycare and English as a second language and things like that. And when I went to the one-stop center, I saw they had this giant display up, and I asked them, well, how can I get information on that? And they said, oh, we've got a program for that. And they gave me basically these little packets of information on everything from free ESL classes to daycare assistance programs to there's a program in Ohio for transportation to help get you to work. And they gave me literally 100 of these packets. So when we hire new employees, part of our onboarding process is we've got this little benefit package we walk them through that explains daycare. Here's how you get daycare if you've never signed up for it before. And if you need some help getting to work for a couple weeks while you're in training before you get a company car, here's how you set up that program. So that was a really, really fantastic program. And to this day, they're a big support for me. If I ever hire somebody that needs help holding down a job because something's unstable in their life or something, I can send them to the one-stop. They also will run advertisements for us. And here in Cincinnati, they actually have a program where it's not just on their website, but they've actually cut a deal with one of the local websites who I'm forgetting now. I think, Queen City Jobs. So Queen City Jobs is a website where people advertise here in Cincinnati to hire people, and it's like $100 to run an ad. But if you work with One Stop and get certified with them as an employer, they will actually not only run an ad on their website and send an email out to their entire distribution list, they also have an agreement where they've bought bulk advertisement in Queen City Jobs. And I can't always get it. It depends on, you know, what they have available, who else has gotten it. They only have so many spots a week. But on a somewhat regular basis, they've been able to land my advertisement in Queen City Jobs for free. Because remember, their whole mission is to match people to jobs. They also hosted job fairs. And job fairs for multiple people, but they also, when I got a big contract and needed to hire a bunch of people relatively quickly, they actually had a job fair just for me, where we set it up in their office, and they sent out an advertisement to everyone in their database, and we had about 15 people come in and apply. I only hired one, but he worked for me for 3.5 years, and so, you know, I wouldn't say it was a slam dunk, but at the same time, it wasn't that difficult, and I got one really great cleaner who worked for me about 3.5 years off of that. They also just will help you with almost anything legally related as it relates to people. Now, this may not be the same in every market, but my One Stop, I can go to and say, hey, I don't understand this law. One of my people requested FMLA. Does that apply to me? How does that work? And they basically have been very willing to give me any free legal advice. So anything that keeps me employing people, they have been more than willing to help out on, which has been fantastic. Another very specific example I got was an on-the-job training program. Now, like I said, this is going to vary by area, so you may or may not be able to take advantage of these programs because the local office gets to decide whether or not you're a good use of money. But here in the Cincinnati area, there's a city called Wilmington, Ohio, which is just 10 miles north of Lebanon where my office is. And DHL shut down their shipping terminal there and eliminated 9,500 jobs. And just for perspective, the entire town of Wilmington only has 12,500 people. So basically, 3 out of 4 people living in the town of Wilmington lost their jobs in a period of a month. So the One Stop was very motivated to help these people get new jobs. So we filed for a program where we would get on-the-job training credits that would cover the cost of the first 3 months to hire and train new cleaners. So we had to fill out this application, which wasn't as terrible as it sounds, and they helped us there. And it required that we hire 15 people in the next calendar year, and we had to have a formal training program, which we could document, that wouldn't just teach them how to clean. We also had to help them build other job skills, which included things like customer service skills, dealing with other employees, just budgeting. We helped them with other job skills other than just cleaning. And we were required to do one training program for 4 hours a month for these 15 people. So what's the investment? 48 hours of training on things like customer service, which is good for me. And in return, the state of Ohio completely paid for their first 3 months of training, which basically meant the first 3 months that these 15 cleaners worked for me, they didn't cost me a dime, which was a great. Imagine what that does to your profit margin when you've got 15 people free for 3 months. Now, once again, this was a relatively specific example, but if you see a very large public layoff in your area of the type of people that would maybe make good cleaners, it's a good thing to approach the One Stop. And DHL was a shipping terminal. They were unpacking planes, moving boxes, not high-skilled labor that was laid off. So I was able to go to them and say, hey, we've got all these people up in Wilmington who currently don't have jobs and need something to do. I need cleaners, but I need to train these people because they don't know how to clean. If you will agree to let me do this on-the-job training, I'll commit to hiring 15 people. And once I completed my contract, which meant I hired the 15 people and I completed all my 12 months of training, I got a check in the mail equivalent for 3 months of those 15 people working for me. So that was a really great program, but it is a little bit specific, and it's going to be tied to one of these programs we talked about. So those programs that your One Stop does, the only thing I can really encourage you to do is, I'm going to go backwards on the slide, is go to the link that I have on this One Stop Center, open it up. If you've never been there, go in and talk to them and just tell them what you need. Their whole reason for existing is to get people jobs, which means help employers employ people as well. So it's not just about helping the employees, it's also about helping the employers. So go in, talk to them, find out what they can do for you. Here, once again, the one in Lebanon is great because they're so well networked that I can literally call and say something like, hey, one of my employees is about to get their heat turned off. Is there anything you can do to help us? And they'll go, yeah, Lebanon Food Pantry has a program where they'll pay for 3 months of heating utility bills. Here's how you apply. I would have never thought to call the food pantry for that, but they are the one that explained that to me and how it works. So they're just a really great support to keep people on a job. They don't want people quitting because something is unstable in their life. Now, one thing that is a lot more predictable is what's called the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. This is really, really, really underappreciated, and very few people in our industry use it. But if you hire somebody who qualifies under any of these categories, you can get a tax credit. So if you hire somebody who receives SNAP benefits, which is basically food stamps, and they work between 120 and 400 hours for you, which is 3 to 10 weeks full-time, you get 25% of $6,000 or 25% of their first year's wages, whichever's less, up to $1,500. If they work 400 hours or more, which is, 10 weeks, then you actually are going to be able to get from the government a $2,400 tax credit. Now, for those who don't understand what a tax credit is, that's not a deduction. That is a credit. So if I owe $10,000 in taxes, I now only owe $7,500 in taxes. These credits are also bankable, and they can be carried over year to year. So say, for example, I get a $2,400 tax credit this year, but I don't owe any taxes. I can take that tax credit and use it next year, the year after, the year after. And when I owe taxes in a future year, use that tax credit. So that's a really, really great program. Another really great one is if you hire a veteran who left for any service-connected disability. So if somebody was retired for a disability-related reason and comes to work for you as a cleaner. And when I say this, a lot of people say, oh my God, that's so specific. No one would ever hire that. I actually hired one of these people and never didn't even realize it when I hired them because they didn't tell me they'd gotten disability and left the military under a disability. You can be disabled, need to leave the military, and then later get healthy. You know, say for example you blew a knee out and therefore you couldn't serve in the military. You are retired under disability. It takes you a year or two to get your knee healed up, but then you're perfectly healthy. You're still retired for a disability-related incident, if that makes sense. So the gentleman that I hired, who is on my commercial cleaning side, was just that. He was in the Army, was over in Afghanistan, blew his knee out, came back, was unemployed for 6 months, wasn't able to get a job during that time, got his knee healed up, applied for a job. I hired him, and because I hired him, I got a $9,600 tax credit. And there's lots of other categories. There are designated community residents. There are high-risk and low-employment communities in almost every city that are designated by the government. If you hire somebody from one of those areas, you can get a tax credit. And often these are the type of people we would potentially hire. Most of us probably aren't hiring ex-felon, but if you hire a Social Security recipient, any of these things that helps get people off of food stamps or off of SSI, the government then gives you a tax credit. Now the program sounds terribly complicated, but it's really not that bad. Like most government programs, there is some record-keeping requirements, but it's not as heinous as it sounds. Cece, in that download she gave you, should have linked one of the downloads. Well, now I can't seem to switch my slide here. Is to this PDF, which is a really great PDF that just walks you through step by step on how you use the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. Basically, what you have to do is there is a form, the IRS 8850 form, that you give the job applicants when they apply. And in my case, it's just like giving them a W-4 form. When you come and work for me, actually I shouldn't say when you apply, when you actually get the job offer, when you fill out your new hire paperwork, you fill out this 8850 form for me. And it asks you all these questions. Are you on SSI? Were you retired military? I then take that form and send it into the government along with all of the information on the applicant. They're going to look them up in a database, and if they qualify, they're then going to ask me for some more proof. Normally it's things like a driver's license, which I already have on file anyway, and then you do need to file a application with the government about how many hours did they work and how much were they paid in the calendar year. So I know it looks like a really heinous and large document, but it's really not as bad as it sounds. And I personally have gotten $10,000 to $20,000 worth of tax credits a year. I know some franchise cleaning services that have gotten $25,000 and $30,000 worth of tax credits. So it's a really, really good program, and you should look at it. Also, if all of that sounded horribly, heinously painful to you, you do not need to do it yourself. Some payroll services will handle the entire thing I just talked about at an additional fee. In my case, the payroll service I use, Paycor, has a program where I pay them, I think it's $15 per person to handle the application process, and then if they're approved, I think it's $99 to do the annual reporting on how much did they earn. So basically I end up paying, you know, $15 to screen each person, and then if they qualify, $100 to get the credit. I think I pay about $1,000 a year to these guys for this service for the $10,000 worth of tax credits I get. But I'll pay $1,000 all day long to get $10,000 back. So my payroll service will actually manage this process for me. There are also companies out there that will do this for you on a contingency basis. What that means is they'll come to you and say, hey, if you give us $400 and we have some startup costs. So it's $400 to get you set up in our system and get all your company information. Then every single person who applies, just send the information over, and we'll do all the screening and applications. If you get any credits, you have to pay us some percentage. And I've heard it anywhere from 25 to 50%. It does vary depending on the firm and how many people you're going to hire and what likelihood they think it is going to be that you're going to hire those people. I have never used them. I do know that one of the national franchises, I believe Molly Maids, uses one of these firms, and almost every franchisee uses them. But if you Google Work Opportunity Tax Credit Consultants, you're going to pull up lists of these people that will do this. And once again, they almost all work on a contingency fee. So it's not that hard to do it yourself, but if for some reason you're not comfortable doing it yourself, I would next ask your payroll service, because I find they're very inexpensive and it's a lot less than 25 to 50%. If your payroll service doesn't want to do it and you then you still want to look into this, consider hiring one of these contingency-based firms that manages all of this. So I gave a couple examples that I've done working with the local one-stop and getting work opportunity tax credits, but there are also some other great programs out there that people you know have taken advantage of. Two people that were previously in our Foundations of Success program, Alberto and John and Don, both applied with IICRC, our trade association, for the HART Scholarship, which is basically a scholarship for anyone who has a newer cleaning service that wants to grow and better their company. That scholarship covers travel, hotel, a stipend while you're there, and registration costs for the IICRC convention. When you add it all up, that's worth about $2,000 to most people. So if you've considered going to the IICRC convention and you're a newer, smaller company, I don't remember all the guidelines, but you can find them out on the IICRC website, arcsi.org. You can apply for this scholarship by writing a letter explaining why you need it, giving them statistics on your business, and basically go to the convention for free, including travel, food, lodging, the whole 9 yards. Bobby of Bobby Cleaning Diva got up through the Massachusetts Workforce Training Program, once again through something like the One Stop, qualified for a business development and leadership coaching grant. So she was given $3,000 by the state of Massachusetts, and she used that $3,000 to actually help pay for her Foundations of Success program. So she was able to get about half of her Foundations of Success program paid for under this training program. Because part of the idea is if Bobby has a more successful business and she grows it, she's going to hire more people. And if she hires more people, then that's good for everyone. So she qualified under that program. Another example is Deborah Mabry of the Cleaning Affair was able, through the Washington Workforce Investment Program, to get nearly 100% of her people's costs to be certified through IICRC for the Home Cleaning Technician Program covered, which included the class fee and the test fee. So even though she had a relatively small company at the time, she was able to get that training program to certify techs covered through a program. Another example are Craig and Denise Baker with Mess Made Right in the Northwest. They're actually very talented at this. They've been able to get funding and train and pay for a full-time sales associate, funding to employ and train previously injured workers, funding for business development training, including, once again, there's someone who was able to get their Foundations of Success program paid for. They got matching funding to purchase their company vehicles. So for every dollar they spent on a company vehicle, they were able to get another matching dollar. We have a link here to an article we did in Cleaning Business Today that describes all these different programs and where they were able to pull it from. Another example, which I didn't even think about when I wrote this, was Joe Walsh, who went through our Foundations of Success program, got a grant for an electric vehicle, and he got his through the local utility. So he's in the state of Maine, and through the state of Maine, he got a grant for an electric vehicle. So he was able to buy a very expensive electric Volt, Chevy Volt, with a grant from the state of Portland's utility office. So all of these are really great programs. Unfortunately, like I said, they do vary greatly, not just state by state, but office to office, because the federal government, which funds these programs, has decided the people who really know the best way to spend this money are the people in the local market. The best training opportunity in Cincinnati, Ohio, might not be the best training opportunity in Columbus, Ohio, so they want the local people to have that control. But definitely work with those one-stop offices. And if you've not applied for the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, with the labor base we pull from, I doubt there's anyone on this call who hasn't hired somebody that would have qualified them for the Work Opportunity Tax Credit in the last couple of years. And at $2,400 to $9,600 per person, that's basically a legal way not to pay income tax. And all the time, I hear people talk about doing things like, oh, I don't record my cash sales, and things that will get you in trouble with the government to avoid paying income taxes. This is a completely legitimate way that, as a business owner that hires low-income people, you could realistically pay little or no sales taxes for most of the years you're in business and have it be not only completely legitimate, but actually encouraged by the government. So at this point, CC, I'm sure there's some questions. Does anyone ask any yet of us on our Q&A?
We don't have any questions that have shown up yet, but I'll remind everybody you can use your webinar menu. It's on the right side of your screen. You probably have an orange arrow that you can see. If you pop that out, you can see the questions section, and you can type questions into me. I'll also take this time while we're waiting to see any questions pop up to remind you that just below that is the handout section, where you'll find the two handouts, one that Derek talked about, the employer guide with the work opportunity tax credits, and that entire PDF is there for you to download directly, as well as a single sheet PDF with all of the links that Derek has referred to today, to the federal resource sites, as well as some of the state ones that he's mentioned in his examples. I do have a question. Here we go. I got tried finding grants and funding in Tennessee. So if there's anybody from Tennessee who wants to reach out to Paige Miller, who has found anybody who has found something specific in the state of Tennessee, please reach out to Paige Miller. I know we have not directly worked with anybody from Tennessee, so that we don't have any at our fingertips. So I hate to say it. I hate to say that because I don't have a comprehensive list of what's available in every state. Even if I tried, it would change.
Well, like I said, unfortunately, it's also going to vary office to office. We had experience where Meth Made Right that we covered earlier went to their local office and got some funding approved, and Liz, who is in the same state, went to a different office and was not able to get approved because so much of it's based on the local market. And what they do is they look at what the opportunities are in the city, what best proposals made from local employers are, and those best proposals are going to get the funding. So I might get it in one city, in another city I won't, because in another city someone may have come up with a better idea.
Absolutely. And Paige, I'll let you know in the one-page webinar links download, there are some instructions about some search terms to use so that you can find the right office, and then your best bet is to call them on the telephone. Don't try to find what you need on their website, because if you've ever been on a government website, you know it's terribly constructed. So call them directly and say, this is what I'm looking for. Who is the person in your office that I need to talk to? So we've got that in the webinar links and resources, some guidelines there to help.
Yeah, and they will really, I have found they will really surprise you when you meet with them. Once again, they may not instantly say, here's a whole bunch of money I can give to you, but what they do have is a ton of information. Did you know there's this program? Here's how to apply for it. There's this program. Here's how to apply for it. My local one-stop center will sit down and help you fill out the paperwork for a work opportunity tax credit. And Cece talked about how terrible government documents are. That work opportunity employer guide is probably the best thing I've ever read from the government. It's clear, it's concise, it doesn't have a bunch of gobbledygook that doesn't make sense. I'd really encourage you to download that PDF. Whoever wrote that, I wish wrote everything from our government, because I'd actually didn't understand it.
And that'll, I think, help me answer Dalva's question. Dalva has a hearing impaired person and is wondering about the tax credits. I wish, Dalva, that I could say we are experts and could tell you that information. My best recommendation is to tell you to look at the employer guide and see what it has to say. If that document itself doesn't answer your question, there are telephone numbers, and you can call and ask somebody who is an expert in what qualifies for the tax credits and how you can begin addressing that. All right. Well, that's I've got some thank yous. Appreciate that. We do have a kind of a second part to our webinar today, and I'm going to invite Liz to hop on and pick up where Derek is leaving off.
Great, thanks, Cece. All righty, so, oh gosh, the echo. Okay, Let's see. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the Foundations of Success program, and it is a program that we do through Cleaning Business Builders. And I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about it because you guys are going to run out there and you're going to get all of this free money. And now I'm going to tell you where to spend it so that you can grow your businesses and have more money, that you can get more free money, and pretty soon you'll just be rolling in piles of dough. That's the plan. All right, so right here what you're seeing is our Foundations of Success model. And these are the service processes that almost every single company, every company that I've seen has shows the flow of how things go from recruiting the technicians to the marketing and the advertising, getting your supplies, all the way to getting the cleaning done. And we have two different, there's the second one. And woo, we're going back and forth. All right, so this is the services model. So this is the people portion, how we get things done. And now we're going to show you the next slide. And this is the support processes. This is the stuff that has to happen behind the scenes to make things happen, your taxes, your accounts receivable, all of the different things that you see here. In the Foundations program, our goal is to help you to get all of these areas strong as a foundation for your business to grow on top of. What we find a lot in our industry, next slide please, Cece. What we find a lot in our industry is that people tend to come into this industry with an idea that cleaning's easy and they're just going to start cleaning and then everything will sort of fall into place after that. And they don't have a lot of structure below what they're going to do, and they don't have that foundational pieces that are needed to actually build a strong company. Can you give me the next slide, please, Cece? And
sorry, Liz, I'm working on wresting it away from Derek. He has it. So give me just a minute.
There, give it up. Go play in Epcot or wherever it is that you're going. I know he's hanging out at Disney right now. All righty, so we will do the Foundations program. Oh, we lost our little slide there again. Are you giving it to me, Cece? Is that what I'm seeing here on the slide?
Nope, I've got it.
On the screen? Okay, thank you. So we, in the Foundations program, it's a 6-month program. It includes a week-long, what we call a jump start into the program, jump start into your year, because it is the beginning of a year's worth of work for you. It's a big undertaking, but there's a lot of advantages to a program like this. It isn't just learning a new thing. It's not just taking a class. It's not just doing something. It's actually creating your business from the ground up. Now, a lot of times people will tell me when I'm talking with them about Foundations, they want to know if it's right for them. They'll say either I'm too small or I'm too big. And what I like to tell people is this program is for two groups of people. The first group is people that are just starting out and they want to set everything up in their company correctly so that they can grow strong, well, and robustly. They can continue to grow at a really rapid, strong pace. That's one group of people. The second group of people is the people that have been in business for however long and they've hit a wall. They've gotten to a point where no matter what they do, they just seem to stay where they are. They're stuck. They can't get past that roadblock. Sometimes that roadblock is at 500,000. Sometimes it's at 1.2 million. It just depends on what that roadblock is for you. So the program is excellent for both groups of people. For brand new businesses, what will happen is you will be provided with a bunch of templates and all of the materials, which we'll get into a little bit later, that you can just modify for your own use, take and get started, move forward. But for other people that have established businesses, I think we had somebody that was in our last Foundations course that had been in business for, I want to say over 10 years, Ed Wright. And what he wanted out of the course was to solidify, again, all of the foundations and get him to the next level. So he needed to figure out where the breaking points were and to just reassess his entire business from the ground floor up with the new mindset. Because what happens when you build your business in the beginning and you have a mindset of building it to maybe $1 million, but you want to get to the $2 million or the $5 million spot, you have to have a whole new structure. Things have to change. So that was his goal. So it's important to understand that the program is made for lots of different types of sizes. That's not the criteria. The criteria is, do you need to grow your business, and are you finding it difficult or a struggle? So these are the 6 prep work things that have to be done, or that have to be done, but we like to give people working up to the Jumpstart program. The first is a DISC assessment. If you've never had a DISC assessment, basically it's a behavioral assessment, and it's done on you. It helps you to recognize who you are, how you work, and how you can take your personal strengths and weaknesses, apply them to your company so that you can get the full benefits of your strengths and you can mitigate the damages of your weaknesses. So we use the DISC to lay over your exact business and give you specific examples how in your business you can use the information from the DISC. It's an hour consultation, usually ends up to be somewhere between an hour and an hour and a half, so that you know that. We also give you a business needs assessment, leadership habits assessment. These are self-assessments. The number 5 you'll see in here, business stage of growth assessment. These are all different self-assessments that we have you do so that you can begin to do the hard work of really analyzing who you are as a company, where you are as a company, and what you need to do moving forward. And it gives us the information to be able to help you in a really, really structured, concrete way. Number 4 here is financial and operational data for KPIs. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators, and this is a critical piece of the program. If you are not able to manage the financial aspect of your business, you will be able to grow your business for quite a while because we have a very healthy cash flow in this industry. But there will come a point where you will be struggling and you won't understand why. Your KPIs keep that in check for you. So that is one way to, it's probably one of the most important things that you need to do actually to keep your business on a solid financial footing so that going forward, you have the money that you are counting on. And the last thing is we have a secret shopping program, and we teach you how to secret shop your competition. And we want you to do this before the program as at all possible. So that was before the Jumpstart portion of the program. I'm sorry, excuse me for that. Because we want to have that information at the Jumpstart weekend or week. All right, so this is a $2,500 value. Can we have the next slide, Cece? What I'm going to be going through here is just telling you about how the program works. All right, so the week-long Jumpstart experience is next year. It's January 10th through 16th. A lot of people think that the program is just the Jumpstart experience. It's just this week because it's so intensive. 70 hours of classes and workshops. It's a full day on-site at Castle Keepers. We're going to have a couple of pictures of that coming up. I'll show you a little bit more about that. And when you leave the Jumpstart experience, you will have over 20 completed tasks. Those will be different for each business based on what you personally need in your business. So if you are a whiz with your financials and you have your KPIs all in order, you may not need that, but you might need scripts for dealing with unhappy, angry clients, or how to write Yelp responses. Who knows what it is that you might need. Maybe you need a brand new safety manual. That might be what you go home with, one of the things that you go home with. So you're going to go home with 20 completed things. The reason why we have this on this slide is that this is so unique to most educational forums. Usually what happens is you sit in a class, you learn all of this stuff, and then you're expected to go home and then begin to implement. our tack for teaching you is tell you the stuff, have you do the work on site with us so that we can make you do it the right way, force you to do it so that when you get home, it's easy to continue moving on. So you sort of create this flywheel effect in the Jump Start experience of doing the actual work so that when you get home, you can continue doing it instead of having to figure out how to start. How do I do it? That's what happens to most people, the people that go to convention. Many times we hear, oh my gosh, I had so many great ideas, but then I come home and dead in the water. So the Jumpstart experience is unique for that opportunity. Additionally, this Jumpstart is at the beginning of the year, my favorite time, because we're going to send you home. One of the things you're going to go home with is a year-long plan. It's an annual plan so that you're going to know in many areas what you will be doing over the next year. What will your marketing efforts be? What will your leadership efforts be? What will your operations efforts be? You're going to go home with this plan. We do this on the very last day. We begin creating it all through the week, but on the last day, we create your year-long plan. And doing it at the beginning of 2016 is awesome. All right, so I told you that a lot of people think that that's the big piece of the program, that the Jumpstart is all that it is, but it really isn't. The next 6 months, you are going to need to stay on track or nothing's going to happen. You're just going to take the few little things that you get and you're going to implement those few little things and then you're going to go right back to your same old habits. We do not want you to do that. Our goal in bringing you together for the Jumpstart is to break down those old habits so that you can start anew in your new year with brand new habits that you create for your brand new vision of your future. All right, so we will be giving you these 6 months of support. You'll be getting private coaching. You also will be assigned an accountability partner. We assign these accountability partners in a few different ways, but the purpose of your accountability partner is to help you stay on track when you might tend to get off track. We also have the membership in our private Facebook group where we're all talking about all of the same stuff that we learned and helping each other to stay on track and getting ideas and suggestions about specific things that are related to foundations to help us grow our own businesses. We're all on the same wavelength in this Facebook group, that it's not just about what's the right vacuum or what's the right anything. Every business has their own right way, but it's not just a matter of what you've been doing or what you've been told is a good thing. It's about what is the right thing based on the business model that you have. So one of the first things we do in Jumpstart is to help you create a business model that fits your vision of the future. Can you change slides for me here, Cece? I love that about the program, is that we start with creating the business model, because then you're building from what is the truth of what you need to have in your future versus all of the things that you've just been trying. Maybe you don't know what is the right kind of pay, percentage or hourly. Well, we help you figure that out based on where you want to be in 5 years, not based on what you want to do tomorrow. All right, so some of the things that you're going to learn are on this slide here. I'm not going to read them all to you, but you learn everything that was on those first 2 slides, all those areas. You're going to learn all of that stuff. And just the binder itself is a $4,500 value. And actually, if you printed out everything that we give you, it would fill over 2, I think Cece said they were 3-inch binders. And they are jam-packed full. You start with 1 binder, and that's without having any of the PowerPoint slides, any of that type of stuff printed out. You're going to get a little bit of everything. Can we get the next slide, Cece? Thank you. So this is the schedule, and if you look over on the right-hand side, that's where you'll see our version. January 10th through 16th is where you start with the Jump Start. And February, you have your coaching, more coaching, all the way through. If you are already in the program, you will have started in July probably and done some of these things. People that are on the left-hand side of this page. If you are just signing up for Foundations now, you will start from wherever you are and you will continue on. So I just signed somebody up, I think it was last week, and they just got their DISC assessment yesterday, for example. So these things are sort of fluid. We just doled them out over 6-month periods so that people had things to work on and begin thinking about their businesses. I get the next slide. Thanks, Cece. So another thing that you get when you join the Foundations program is you have access to all of our products for free. So you heard Derek mention a few of these, the High-Tech Management Training Series. High-Tech stands for High Performing Employee, well, what is it? High Performance Employee Program. And this is a management training series that is designed for you to deal with your direct line employees. And it's a daily program, actually, that you can use, and you can use it any way you want, but that's almost a $2,400 value. We'll show you a picture of that in a minute. Also, the team builders. This is some team builder exercises. There's a 12-pack of them that you can use each month, a different team building exercise. If you want to have good teams, you have to help them get there. Good teams don't build themselves. That's your job to do. Core values for hiring. We have core value cards, decks of cards that are created, and we teach you how to use them in the Foundations program. How to hire. You want to hire better people? You want to have better people working for you? You have to hire the right people for your company. The core values cards help you to do that. They make sure that you are hiring the people that match what matters to you in your company. The Made Money Starter Kit, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of that. It's a motivational program that we have, and the Target Marketing Toolkit. This is just plug and play target marketing. So you pull up a blank template and plug in your information, your name, your phone number, your address, bang, you're on the road to excellent target marketing. Easy, easy, easy. It doesn't get much easier than that. So if you need some fast and easy marketing, this is an easy way to do it. And then you get the Professional House Cleaning Technician's Manual. Anybody that's heard of the HCT program, this is the manual that was written to accompany that program. All right, can I have the next slide, Cece? This is just some pictures of the different programs. The Target Marketing Toolkit up on the left. You'll see the high-tech program with the discs down below and the core values cards on the right. And the manual, obviously, upper center, and some more discs for the team builders. Can we have the next slide? Additional bonus, be the only company in your market with this unique advantage because we don't take anybody else into a program at the same time. So if you are in a certain area and somebody else signs up for the program before you do, sorry, they're in the program. Another thing is this is our last scheduled Jumpstart program, our Foundations of Success program. And we have no intentions at this point in time of having another one of these programs. So if you're at all interested in the program, you would want to sign up for the January program. Can I have the next slide, Cece? This is a picture of the mansion. And this picture cracks me up because it looks so small to me compared to when you're there in real life. If you look closely, you can see that there's a car parked all the way on the right, and you can figure out, wow, if we could fill up that whole space, that's a lot of cars wide. It's huge. The main things about this mansion are not really the luxury of it, although it's extremely luxurious. The thing that is amazing about this mansion and being in this experience is that you are together with the other students in the class for the entire week. That means when class time is done, You're still talking, thinking, processing, figuring stuff out. So it's very much a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, or an entire week experience. You never get shut off. So that's what helps you to get to the place of changing your actual behaviors and your thinking and not falling back into those old patterns. Lots of beaches for walking. Everybody has their own bathroom in their room. There's a beautiful deck, and it's directly, obviously, right on the beach. There's a hot tub. There's a large area. All of the meals are provided at the program. One of the things, I think we're going to talk about this. Yeah, let me see the next picture, Cici. I think it might be on the next one. No, just some cool things about the program. This was our last Jump Start. This is Jump Start 6. And look at Derek up there in the right-hand corner without his number 6 up. We had just woke him up. He was exhausted, exhausted from the week. But it was a really exciting, really great group of people that we had in the number 6 program. Can I get the next one, Cici? I wanted to tell them about the food because that's not it. Okay, I think we're whale watching there. Oh, I do want to talk about, there's Derek cooking. So Derek always is cooking. But the thing I loved about the food, do you have a picture of the pickles by any chance, Cici? Cici always gets us the food that we love. So one of the things that you do in the program before you go is you fill out a survey, and she asks you, what do you like? What kind of food do you like? And you will have some of your favorite things. But this is Derek. I think he's doing chocolate-dipped Oreos.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Nutella. Was it Nutella dipped?
I think he did Nutella first and then did the chocolate on top of it.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. But everything he makes is delicious. He's always making snacks. He has to work out like a maniac the whole time we see him because he eats crazy. But great fun with all the different types of food. Cici got last time, I don't know how many jars of pickles, but it was great fun. All right, this is an example of some classroom time. And you'll see that's Joe Walsh up there, and he is presenting at this point in time. And he is teaching a class. The classes are participatory, so even though they're only raising their hands right here, usually people will have their laptops up. You see, I think, a couple of laptops up, or at least a binder. Some people prefer to take notes. It's working time. These 70 hours are working time. All right, this is a breakout session. So after every class, so classes usually last 45 minutes, and then we break out into a breakout session, multiple breakout sessions designed for different size companies or different needs of the companies, and we actually work on what was just taught in the class so that you don't lose it. You don't lose that information. We have you create something to take home right there on the spot. And so that's what's going on here. This was a breakout session. This is an example of what we call on the spot. And you'll see in the front, you see Joe standing up there, and then there's Tom and myself. And you can't see us all, but you can see Tom and Joe really carefully, or really well, actually. Everybody else is sitting out there in different stages of relaxation. And at the end of each day, we have this on-the-spot program where we just stand up at the front. This is on the deck, actually. And you guys just fire questions at us about the different things that you learned, the different questions that you have, how to relate this stuff to your own businesses. And each one of us will talk for 1 minute on what we do in our businesses. Because sometimes what happens is you just need a little, again, jump start of an idea to build your own idea from. And so that's the point of On the Spot. Super popular. We thought we might end it, but we couldn't because it's just ridiculously popular. This is just another view of classroom time. You see Dawn over there on the left. Hi, Dawn. And some more pictures. This is some off time, some relaxing time where we are probably eating dinner or something like that at the end of the evening. The alumni come back for a second round. Last time, I can't remember how many alumni we have. We have 2 more coming this time, Amy and Joanne, so looking forward to working with them. The purpose of coming back is because you want to continue. You've gotten what you started to come, what you came for in the beginning, but it's so much work that you can't possibly get it all done in a 6-month course, probably not even a year. And getting that new information moving forward is super helpful. All right, we only got a couple minutes, so I'm going to go quickly here. So we've got this. This is just breaking down the totals of where you're getting the price. You're paying $79.95. It's a savings of 81% over the entire value. And also, I think on our website, if you go and look at it, there is a nifty little worksheet, and you can see for your company how many new clients it would actually take for you to pay for this program. For most size companies, it doesn't take more than 3 new clients, if you can believe that, to pay for this program. We know we can bring you more than 3 new clients. You should know that too. It's so obvious that a program of this depth and breadth is going to be able to bring you many, many, many more clients than 3. So price really can't be a consideration. Now, if you think we don't have the bandwidth, you don't want to work this hard, it just seems like too much work for you, it's just too much information, then it might not be the program for you. But if you think, I'm ready, I'm the one that can make it, I know that if I have all of the tools, I can work this hard, I will work this hard, and it's a program for you. These are the payment plans. You do need to put down a deposit to secure your registration. And the reason that's important is it locks out any other local competitors. Do we have another slide? I know we have a few more. So you can call us. You can also go on our website and create a free consultation. Maybe you don't know if the program's right for you. Go on the website and just get a free consultation. Myself, Tom, Joe, Derek, somebody will call you and we'll help you figure out if it's right for you or not. It's not for everybody, but it is for a lot of people. And then check our schedule on CreatingBusinessBuilders.com. I think we just have a few slides. Let's see, contact. These are our personal cell numbers. You can get a hold of us. Call me, 951-5419. I do love to talk, as you can probably tell.
I'm going to leave this one up because the next one is the Q&A slide. I know people like to take down the numbers. We do have I'll give you 2 minutes to write in your questions.
Okay.
If you want to write in questions through the webinar system, and we'll see how fast Liz can really talk. Yeah, we've got, I'll pull over really quickly the website. Liz was talking about the calculator on our website, and this is what she's talking about. You can put in your current number of recurring clients, average number of clients lost per month, that's your attrition rate, your average client bill, and your visits per month per home, and your gross profit margin. And if you don't know what these are or how to calculate them, you can go to the little info button and it'll tell you just what to do, what numbers to pull, and whether you're adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying, how to calculate those. And you hit the calculate button and watch the little spinny guy go up there. And this is what Liz is talking about. Most companies, new clients needed to pay for foundations of success, 3. This is the pretty typical small cleaning business. We also added the bonus. You get some other metrics that it's going to pop out for you. Liz talked about the key performance indicators. So you're going to get a few that you can begin working with. It's something that we find exceptionally beneficial. And you can play with this as many times as you want. You don't have to put your email in to get anything. This is not, what do you call those? The lead capture. This is not a lead capture. You can play with this as many times as you want, and we don't even know. So you can get creative about what your business would look like if you had different numbers. So we certainly encourage you to do that, but certainly try it first with your real number so you have a benchmark there. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that it's a lot easier to make this program affordable for yourself than you think it is.
So much so.
We have not gotten any questions, so I will trust you guys to have taken down the numbers. That's Derek's cell. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Tom's office, Liz's cell, and Cece's office. So give us a call. Tom and I are pretty well plugged into our office lines 24 hours a day. It's just easier to do that. So we'd be glad to talk with you and certainly look forward to it. But I will get us signed off now because we've gone just a tad over time. We do try to respect the time that you gift to us when you join us for our webinars. The webinar is recorded, so I'll have it up on YouTube a little bit later today. Hopefully you've gotten the handouts out of the handout section of your menu, and we will look forward to seeing you next time. We'll have another one Thursday in December. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.